Okay, we're going back to Fury 3. This time not in the Scorpion, but in the Samurai. And our tires ought to be a decent match this time at least. So vehicles do come with, I did look in the XML and see that vehicles do come with different components pre-installed, it seems like. Which brings up the same complaint I had a couple episodes ago, where like you don't know what components they have pre-installed when you look at their stats in the shop. So you don't know how much room there is to improve those stats beyond what's already there. It's very strange to me that they do that. Oh. Yes, though, this is apparently Anaconda Run. Some elements here, like the bridge here, do feel Fury 3-ish to me. This map does feel kind of Fury 3-ish. Definitely in the track layout and design. The Fury 2 maps felt a lot more just like very flat. You have some bumps and whatnot, but otherwise it's just bumps on flat land. Like some bumps to jump off of and whatnot. Well, excuse me. The game just decided to spawn me inside of that. But this one, on the other hand, this is much more like some of the like mid-level, mid-high level Fury 3 courses, where it's very, very vertical, very roller coaster sort of feeling across the whole thing, and I do enjoy that. I do have to say. So I do enjoy Anaconda Run in this game, even if it's not the sort of map that I was hoping to see in this game. But yeah, see, that bridge feels kind of Fury 3-ish to me in its design. It's kind of hard to say. And the AI did not take that very well. Other little things that the game does with these maps. It does go out of its way to say these maps will not contribute to your overall records. Like I think that means stuff like completion and whatnot. But since they're only available if you have extra peripherals and whatnot. That wooden bridge on the left we just passed, and some of these trees too, like with them all the moss hanging off and whatnot. That feels very Fury 3 as well. It is interesting getting to notice the different character of stages from the different games and be able to tell, oh yeah, this is definitely from one game or the other. You gotta stay on the road. Ah! Amazed I managed to salvage that. Oh, I tried. So just for old time's sake, I used an ATV here, but it's also would be kind of fun here to use another heavier vehicle like the buggy or something, just because this is not the sort of track you usually get to use that vehicle on. But yeah, I definitely don't really look at this and think, oh yeah, I've been here before. I remember this course. I remember the name, that's really it, but I don't remember like the twists and turns of the course or anything. The length definitely feels familiar on little things like that where, oh, which way do you go? Because it looks like the road just forks. There's only one right answer. Okay, that's enough of that though. Stupid long laps that some of these Fury 3 courses had. Okay, but there is one other little thing I want to show. Bring up the density of more novel, funny things to see. I've kind of accidentally already shown off, well, not shown off, but hinted at all the funny little extra things to let you see, just by accidentally covering them in the menu. But for instance, so I saw this was in the listing of stages, but it was specifically marked as not appearing in the UI. So I thought, well, what if we just did that? So here we are. I did that. So we've got we got the training course as a course on here. You can see it does not have a marquee in the background. Yeah, national. The training course is marked as a national course for some reason. I don't know why. Great, thank you. This rice one actually managed to wipe out on that. Oh, I can just drive. Well, I was waiting for something, but I was waiting for the race to start or something, but no. Very good. But yeah, so this isn't actually properly defined. Like this course doesn't really like work as it should. There's nothing keeping you in bounds or anything. You can see the targets, which is funny. You can't collect them. This is one of the few things I did just to see if it would work or not. So I did load this up quickly. It would be nice if I could just not hit things. I was thinking on this stage a little bit too, because I got to thinking about it as a result of having, you know, made it accessible here and whatnot. And I am thinking to myself, man, compare this training stage to Fury 3's, and I'm not here to complain about Fury 3 too much. Fury 4, I mean, too much. But at the same time, like, okay, this place, there's stuff here in the sense that, like, there's a big combination of different routes to go on. And this thing really keeps up the speed while turning hard. That's actually really good. Bye. That was interesting. And you got some backdrop, and you got some buildings of various sorts over here and whatnot. This thing does not oversteer at all either. You got a little tag on the wall there. It's pretty. But and sure, you have some set pieces in the form of like it's just like everything that could be here is here. Like all the things that would route you on different paths, they're all there. And look, like you see, you got these little silo kind of things. You got the heavy machinery. Yeah, cool. But it's all just visual pretty much, or at most you can run into it if you like to. And there's not a lot of magic here compared to Fury 3. Or Fury 3, oh, I've never been back here, I don't think. Fury 3 you could also, it's very bumpy. Like, there were sections where you could go inside of buildings, like there was a little tunnel you can go through, there was a little bit of verticality because there was an elevated segment. Let me hit the wall at least, man. There was an elevated segment that led into like a little indoor area with a little indoor area with quarter pipes. Here at most we have these things, except you really gotta put in an effort if you want to not wipe out immediately upon contact with them anyways. You had the building that was totally falling apart. You could go up on different stages on that. You could go out. You could jump out the window. You could go out onto the roof and jump off of there. It felt really cool doing that. And then, of course, there were the. That was really oddly entertaining to do. And there was the. Oh yes, there was there were the tracks up on top too. That you could climb up to, and man, you have nothing like that here. Now I realize, well, I'd say on one hand you could say, well, sure, but lots of those stuff you put here wouldn't be accessible to the other vehicles, to the heavy vehicles, but I don't see how that would necessarily be a problem in the sense that the point-to-points, like the big, oh man, the camera decides at this speed we need to rumble. The camera is very ready to rumble. Like there are paths that are optimized for light vehicles and paths that are optimized for heavy vehicles. But you don't get that here for some reason. Also, you don't get to use this place for freestyle either. It looks like you could in Fury Fury 3. I love being able to unlock the training area as a freestyle place in Fury 3. But yeah, all that means is just... I feel like it's not just that I'm just pointing out this one stage, it's just that it feels like a good example of the difference in flavor of this game versus Fury 3 in general. There's a lot more whimsy and high concept cool stuff in Fury 3. And that was the magic to me for the game in general. That was what attracted me to the game, and what kept me playing it despite basically never playing the game as expected, like actually doing the career mode and whatnot. Whereas this game is more just the career mode and similar. I don't think I would have played this game much at all growing up if I had it, to be honest. The stuff I found charming isn't really here. You don't have the big multi-purpose areas with cool ideas. You don't have many of the freestyle areas with cool ideas. You do have the park that I like. You have one that's kind of amusing just in terms of background, even though in practice it's the same as anything else design-wise, in terms of like the terrain you can actually drive on. The bull ring in Spain. Yeah, though, that's kind of my conclusion on how this game feels versus Fury 3. There's something that was in Fury 3 that's not here, and that disappoints me a bit. Anyhow. Freestyle. Do I want to go do freestyle right now? We can do one freestyle, maybe. So we do have freestyle objectives. Oh, let's talk about Fury 3 here for a second, actually. And let's put on the bike just to have something that's not in Fury 3 go in a Fury 3 place. I guess Freestyle Classic is just get points. Actually, just real quick, let me load up a Freestyle Classic somewhere. Just for the sake of having done it, to make sure there aren't any new strings I can get from doing that. But yeah, so Beaver Creek. Look at this, it's Beaver Creek, just as you remember it. Now, of course, this is that one corner, I think it's in the northwest of Beaver Creek. This is where you get spawned for the freestyle events in Beaver Creek as well. And the camera's really fixating on this one particular corner. And it turns out there's a reason it's fixating on this one particular corner. If you try to get a glimpse of the rest of the map, like run up here for instance. Game of course gets angry at you in the usual way for going off the course. But what you'll notice after after going around the perimeter for a little bit is there is nothing else to see. They say it's Beaver Creek. It's just this one corner, which made me very sad. And Beaver Creek wouldn't have been my first choice for a place to put in this game. I would have gone for the quarry if you're going to go for one of the multi-purpose maps. That's my favorite one by a large margin. But at the same time, I do realize, okay, porting that entire thing to this game probably would be way too much effort for something that no one's ever going to get to see because of how it's locked behind extra peripherals. And also, it would have required a lot more disk space than would be worth it for, you know, something that, again, no one can access. But, man, this is not my favorite. This is like my least favorite part of Beaver Creek. They took, like, only the single least interesting part of the entire map and said, yep, that's the freestyle map. That's what you get. This is the one place that doesn't have, like, any set pieces. It's just ramps. It's just, that's all it is. Just a couple ramps. No roads to drive on, no bridge, no little towns to see. There are a couple different set pieces there, but we don't get to see them today. But yeah, of course I should also show off the objectives. Maybe to load them, I don't know if it's really that important too. But this bike is crazy good, I will say. I could probably easily beat any race in this. And it feels great already, even without actually having upgraded it at all. But yeah, I should at least show the different locations of the targets and whatnot. But of course, the locations of the targets are inevitably just, you know, on this one little set piece here. Well, it's not even a set piece, it's on this one little collection of ramps. Curious how they define the difficulty for how big of a combo you have to do and stuff like that on here compared to the rest of the game. I'm not sure they put it in terms of like the difficulty curve. And it's like there's much to do with the targets here. Ow. Yeah, of course, back in Fury 3, this would take you across the entire darn map. Going through all the fun little set pieces, grabbing targets every which way. Not so here, because it's not a thing anymore. The world as you know it no longer exists. Man, the motorcycle is so weirdly fragile in this game. There are lots of cases where I land in a lane that just doesn't feel like I should immediately let go of my handlebars and give up on life. The driver is very pessimistic, I guess is one way of putting it. But yeah, I mean, the textures are also very different, and the textures have a very different flavor in this game than in the predecessor. So it definitely feels like a Fury 4-ified version of this. Look, they just put a bunch of targets on the same couple jumps because that's all they could do. It's kind of sad. But hey, we got to see it now, and we got the hashes for it. I guess we'll see how many strings we get. Yeah, what I should do is I should tally up how many strings I got from this episode, or from this setting, at the end of this. It won't be the very end of getting all the strings in this game, in the sense that, of course, it won't be all of them. But also, I still need to get a couple more just from loading up all the different custom track elements. But that's the only thing I plan to do after finishing up this recording session. Any other strings I haven't gotten at that point, well, like, I don't know what you could do to get the strings at that point. Like, if I've played so much of the game, like, I've seen everything there is to see in the game. As far as I know, I will have loaded everything I could possibly think of loading. So at that point, like, if there are any strings that are left at that point to find, any strings with hashes that we still don't know, rather any hashes left in the game whose strings we still don't know is really how it works. I think at that point it's just going to be because you probably can't, it's probably not possible to load the thing, with the exception of the online stuff, of course. Unfortunately, because I can't do the online stuff, that just is what it is. I can't load most of the online related things because unless there is a way to like connect to some custom server or something, there's probably just not a way to get the game to load that stuff anymore. 14, 15. That's I think that's on par with the highest, with the most difficult courses, isn't it? I think it is. I won't bother with those because you've seen all that stuff before. The locations of the targets are actually like a new thing unique to this unique to this stage. So I like to show that off and experience it myself. Okay, next time we will take a look at perhaps a couple more races. I looked at the dunes, I looked at the valley. So, oh, they're not circuits either? I guess there aren't. Jeez, I guess we already looked up pretty much all the maps. With the exception of Crescent Hill. I guess we'll just go to Crescent Hill. And we'll have to try out all the other vehicles too, because there are a lot left to try, unfortunately. We have a lot more heavy vehicles to use. Oh well. Alright, we'll see that next time.